What's up, you all? I see some of you all in the chat. I'm trying to upload this promo on TikTok. I don't know about you all, but it seems like it always takes a long time for stuff to load up on TikTok. Okay, so I'm gonna let you all come in. I'm just trying to upload this video. Maybe if I can get this link. Maybe if I can grab this link. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. What's up, you all? Just let me put it on my stories real quick. Tonight, we will be presenting. Let me put my link. In here. Queen, starring Stacey Abrams. Please don't miss out, and thank you in advance for your attendance. Express how much the vast majority of us are trash and we don't measure up and all this other stuff. Okay, I'm trying to get this thing to upload on TikTok, and it's not. It's just moving slow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. How you all doing today? Let me say what's up to. Let me see, MOK, Amy, what's up? MKOK, what's up? Jamar, what's up? The Ice, Cold Wolf, what's up? Anthem Fox, what's up? Katrina John, what's up? Lisa, what's up? Heather Petty, what's up? All right, you guys, we got a fun-filled show today. So TikTok gonna have to wait, man. So basically, you all know that Stacey Yvonne Abrams is running for. She's running for governor of Georgia, and you know, the foundation of her campaign is abortion / women's rights. What you're going to discover in this little documentary that was put together is that not only are these folks lying, but they have an evil intent behind it. And I believe it's a spiritual intent. I mentioned before about, the ritual of George Floyd and all these things, but I'm gonna go through this, thing I did. And shout out to Kurt Gray, 76. That person really produced all of this, did the research and everything. So your mind's really going to be blown. And it's just so much information that we didn't even get to record. But without further ado, we're going to get started. What's up, DB? What's up, Kamir? Let me go live on YouTube real quick just to get folks over here. Oh, you know what I needed? Oh man. Oh man, I'm looking for this picture. Where is the picture? Come on. Am I live on YouTube? I don't think so because the video is still downloading. I've been trying to download the video for hours, so I don't think it's yeah. I don't even know if it's on YouTube yet. Am I on YouTube? I don't know. Oh yeah, if she becomes governor, you know it's a wrap. But I really had a picture of her that I can't find. Let me do it real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me airdrop this photo. Okay. Let's go. Okay, y'all. Okay, here we go. Thanks for the badge, account. I got a subscription to Instagram. My subscription price is 99 cents. I'm gonna do a little promo for it though. My subscription price is 99 cents. I figure if I get everybody to get subscription to 99 cents, I can put all kind of projects together. I can do all kind of stuff. What's up, Tabernacle? Oh, you subscribe. Thank you, Sneakerhead. Let me know if y'all can see it on YouTube. I put the link in the stories, but the video is still uploading on IG, so I don't know if it's on YouTube. I don't know how StreamYard works. But let me get started though. But you all can go to the link. You can go to the link in my IG stories and come to the StreamYard because the video is not done uploading yet. But let's get started though. So the foundation of Stacey Abrams' campaign is abortion. And all of these folks are pitching abortion as women's health and then women's choice. So they're giving you two things you can't argue. You can't argue a woman's health. You can't argue her right to choose. So they kind of give you a straw man argument in all of this, and they say it's the woman's right. It's the woman's right. It's the woman's right. So we're gonna start with her with some of what she's been saying on this campaign trail. And I'll be stopping and dissecting it, and I'll probably get through the first half of this because it's 50 minutes, and do the second half tomorrow night. But let's get started. And let me know if it's an echo.
Including access to a.
Now I try to get more professional for this. I tried to, put my commentator, thing, my commentator swag, but my reporter swag. That was my goal, but let's see how it turned out. I haven't watched this. I'm watching this the first time with you all. So hopefully it turned out pretty good. Now, before I get started, I need for you all to make sure that you are sitting down, because what I'm about to share with you all is literally going to blow your mind. Now, the person behind me is running for governor. And if you've been living under a rock and don't know who this is Stacey Yvonne Abrams. And she's been hot on the campaign trail trying to solicit the coveted black vote. Now, let me stop right here. Anybody endorsing Stacey Abrams is a part of the agenda. And when we get into this documentary, you're going to see the agenda that's at play. So these folks are a part of an agenda. Like, so somebody said Creflo Dollar, Pastor Warnock, all these people, they're a part of an agenda. So they're putting all their hopes and dreams behind Stacey Abrams for a reason. It's all strategic and on purpose. So nobody's blindly following Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams is the person who's going to usher in this great reset, new world order, liberal world agenda. She's the face for it. She's the poster child for what they want. They want the big black woman. You think about Hollywood, that was one of the first images that Hollywood allowed to be on the screen, was the big black woman. It was the same woman that would be on the horses patrolling the plantations in the sugar canes fields and in the cotton fields. Black women on horses with shotguns. This is all documented. So the big black woman, even breastfeeding in the house, breastfeeding the master's children. So the big black woman is the image of this agenda. This is why all the women from BLM, they're not slim. You think back to all these riots and stuff we had 2 years ago, it was a bunch of big women. I even saw big white women, and all the women, I was listening and I was hearing the same script. All the women kept saying, I'm a single mother. I have to work 2 jobs. It was just so many clips of women saying, I'm a single mother. I have to work 2 jobs. It's so hard. And it was just the same rhetoric over and over again. So something dawned on me that, wait a minute, something's up with this. And BLM even said they want basically black women or women to be the foot soldiers. They said that women should be able to do the social justice work during the day and then not have to do extra work and have the children at night. They don't mention any men. So their idea of what's to come is communism led by women, but communism led by trans, because they believe in trans and leadership. Because again, these folks are pushing the wave of the future, and Stacey Abrams is all for the trans in the school. She's all the agendas Stacey Yvonne Abrams is for. But let's continue. But Stacey has been saying some things that just haven't been sitting right with my spirit. She's been saying some things that have me up at night, tossing and turning. And so a friend of mine and I got together to do some research and really uncover the truth about what Stacey Abrams is actually saying. And I can assure you that what you will find will sicken you to the core. And if you've already cast your vote, then I suggest you repent. Now, the statement will bear true, in this case, that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And honestly, with so much to uncover and so much to reveal, I don't know where to start. But I think we should probably start with the foundation of her campaign, and that is abortion. And let me tell y'all something, right? I didn't have a teleprompter. This is all top of my head doing these takes, no teleprompter, no notes. This is all you hearing freestyle. Now I had a lot of takes, but I'm still freestyle. I'm like one take Drake, I'm doing it, So yeah, I'm letting y'all know that. No teleprompter, and I'm not reading nothing on that, on some of these things. Some of them will be though. Let's continue. Hold on, what's up, Broken Traditions? What's up, Player Fees? What's up, Pamela? What's up, The Doors of the Cosmos? What's up, Keena? What's up, Prashina John?
As a legislator and as a Georgian, I have fought for reproductive justice. I defeated a bill to inject racial division into medical decisions. I challenged bills that banned insurance coverage for abortion. I battled those who sought to limit a woman's right to control her body, including the 6-week ban that will govern the lives of Georgians. Now the laws of Georgia will further increase maternal mortality rates and incarcerate doctors for up to 10 years, and this is wrong. As your next governor, I will continue to defend a woman's right to choose and to protect the rights of all. What has been done with this law is an assault on our liberties, and we will fight back. As Georgia's governor, I will work every day to ensure access to affordable and safe healthcare for all, including access to abortion.
Now, do you all really believe that Stacey Abrams can change the abortion laws in Georgia? Now, I know she's been blaming everything on Kemp, but do you honestly believe that she will have the power to change the abortion laws in Georgia? You know, over the past 2 years, there's been this popular trend of fact checking. So I think we should fact check what Stacey Abrams is saying.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed the heartbeat law in 2019, banning abortions around 6 weeks in most cases. The controversial law stuck in legal limbo for years, but now that it's in effect, some of you are asking, could a new governor overturn it? Let's verify. Our sources, the Constitution of the state of Georgia and constitutional law experts Fred Smith with Emory University and Eric Siegel with Georgia State University.
The governor has no legal authority over laws already passed.
So a governor can't, with the stroke of a pen, overturn a law that's already been enacted.
Our experts confirm Georgia's governor does not have sole power to repeal a law. Verify, I'm Liza Lucas.
So after we fact check Ms. Abrams, we find that the experts all agree that Stacey Abrams would not have the power to change the abortion law in Georgia. Now, what you think about this, you all? She's running her whole campaign saying that if I am governor, I'll change the abortion law. And as you just heard and you just saw, she can't. So that means the foundation of her campaign is a lie. It's just a bold-faced lie. Now, somebody said that their pastor is Pastor Dollar. If Creflo Dollar is following Stacey Abrams and endorsing her, then you already know what side he's on. Stacey Abrams is not just pro-choice, she's pro-abortion all the way full term. These people want full-term abortions. They want the baby to come out and then be aborted. So I'm just letting you all know, if your pastor is endorsing these people, I'm just sorry to tell you. The Bible says we judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Now, what does light have in common with darkness? Don't let your good deeds be evil spoken of. All these things in the scripture, folks don't want to apply it, but I apply the word to everybody, even Pastor Dollar. So at the end of the day, if he's endorsing Stacey Abrams, then he's endorsing Satan. I'm just sorry to tell y'all that. This is what it is. I had my reckoning 2 years ago in 2020. I had to come to the reality that I've been lied to my entire life. It's a tough pill for many of us to swallow, but the pill must be swallowed. Well, you can pick the red or the blue one. Either you can take the blue pill and go back to sleep and be tortured for the rest of your life because you saw the truth, or take the red pill and actually embrace the truth and see things for what they really are. Y'all do realize in the Matrix that Morpheus is representing God. One choice is that of fear. The other is a choice of faith. The blue pill is fear. The red pill is faith. Because it takes faith to venture into the unknown. But let's continue. Just like the United States government has a president, House of Representatives, and a Senate, so does Georgia with a governor, House of Representatives, and a Senate. These people scrolling on this list are the Georgia lawmakers, and they are the only people that could change the abortion law in Georgia, an abortion law that they chose, I might add. And also, I might add that these are Georgia lawmakers that you voted for. So let's look at these Georgia lawmakers in action. Let's look at these Georgia lawmakers fact-checking themselves. So you realize that the Georgia lawmakers are voted on by the people. The governor just signs off on what the Georgia lawmakers vote on. That is Republicans and Democrats coming together and making laws together. So again, Stacey Abrams cannot change the abortion law. So you already know if the foundation of her campaign is a lie, then you have to know that everything else is going to be a lie too. You know, today in society, we believe that a person might tell you one lie and then tell you the rest will be true. No, if a person tells you a lie, they got to keep lying to keep the first lie alive. keep the lie alive. So you gotta keep lying to keep the lie alive. That first lie becomes many lies. The first lie becomes an infinite amount of lies because you have to make the first lie seem true. So again, Stacey Abrams is lying about being able to change the abortion law in Georgia. Let's continue.
There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her.
Gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Heiss, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This hearing is about examining the harm to patients from abortion restrictions, and I would just contend that the primary patient in abortion is the baby. And the harm done to the baby is permanent. It is death. Dr. Rubenhorst, let me come to you. Pro-abortionists want to convince the public that in the abortion debate, we are talking about anything but a human life. Recently, a prominent Democrat who I referred to earlier, Stacey Abrams, said, quote, "There is no such thing as a heartbeat at 6 weeks. It is a manufactured sound designed to convince people that men have the right to take control of a woman's body away from her," end quote. How do you respond to that?
Thank you for the question, Congressman Heiss. I would respond to that by saying that, as I mentioned a bit ago, there is a fetal heartbeat whether we hear it or not, and we use instruments to amplify that sound. The fetal heartbeat is detectable initially as a twinkling, typically around between possibly as early as 5 weeks. We know that many of the major structures of the fetal heart are complete between the 5th and the 6th week. And so there's no question that this is just not that the fetal heartbeat is a random contraction of cells. There's coordinated movement that's well documented. It's documented in the radiology literature. It's documented in the obstetrical literature. And so I think that the question as to whether this is a manufactured sound. Again, as I said, the fetal heart is beating early in pregnancy. And the other point that I think is very important to make is that we rely on assessments of the fetal heart rate, presence or absence of the fetal heartbeat, in order to assess fetal health and to provide reassurance to parents. One of the most exciting things that can happen for parents is hearing their baby's heartbeat for the first time.
Now, we've been doing this for years, for as long as we all can remember. They go in and check the vitals of the baby developing in the womb. This has been done for years. They've always said, you want to hear the baby's heartbeat? Like, this has been done for years. But they also realize, the powers that be know, especially these liberals, if they demoralize you enough, then you'll believe anything. If they demoralize you enough, if they make you feel like the world is caving in on you, if they give you a boogeyman, if they give you somebody to be afraid of, if they do all these things, then they can pretty much tell you anything. The Bible says that God does not give us a spirit of fear, so we know that fear is a spirit. Now, Stacey Abrams, I believe, is a part of the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z community. As I've told you all before, that group will be the ones leading Black culture. So Black people have put themselves in a position to where now their leadership is going to be from the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z, and then their leverage will have to come from the Hispanic community and the immigrants. So now Black folks have put themselves in a corner because they voted foolishly for so many years. And now, you know, the old saying says, you know, well, the buck stops here. No pun intended. The buck is going to stop here. So now Black folks have a decision to make, you know, because now every decision you make here moving forward is going to be life or death. Because now politics has become life or death, because now you're voting in people that are a part of a global agenda. They're part of something bigger. They're part of a great reset, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization. These things are what, so when you vote these folks in, they're a part of these agendas. So even a local election can be different between life and death. But let's continue. But one more thing, this doctor is just stating the facts. This doctor right here is telling you all that the baby's heartbeat is present at 6 weeks. So Stacey Abrams has lied again. So this is 2 lies she's told. She lied about being able to change the abortion law, and she lied about the baby's heartbeat. This is 2 blatant lies she's told, and you're being proved this right now. Now, many of my people will be emotional and get upset. I've been asked not to show this stuff. The audacity to ask me to not tell the truth. You know, I have people pleading with me not to tell that. You know how insane that is? Let's continue.
Dr. Ingrid Scott from San Antonio and Dr. Blake Whiteoff from Austin both agree that the heart is not fully formed at 6 weeks, but they believe the term fetal heartbeat is the correct wording of what is being detected by ultrasound at 6 weeks into pregnancy.
The structure is present, the heart, the blood cells are present to be pumped, and the electrical activity is present. Now, the heart will get more complicated. So at the initial point, it's more or less a tube.
The heart's not fully formed at that 6 weeks. There's still development that's happening, but there definitely is a heartbeat.
Now, based on the experts, why would Stacey Abrams lie about the baby not having a heartbeat at 6 weeks? Why would she say it was manufactured when clearly we see it's a real heartbeat? And furthermore, why would she go to an all-male college to tell a bunch of men or young men that the baby's heartbeat was fake? Could it be possible that she would want the men to encourage women to have abortions? Or
what else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Oops, I don't think that was supposed to get out. Let's go on to the next slide.
How front and center do you believe the abortion debate should be for Democrats all around the country, let alone your campaign?
Hold on, y'all just heard Kamala, right? Kamala said 18 to 24 is stupid. So now you see when you watch the news, mainstream media, who they're catering to. They're catering to 18 to 24 because they think they're stupid. She just said it. They're stupid. Everybody clapped and laughed. But again, when these people are talking to you all, this is what they're talking to you all as somebody that's stupid, because they know you all are not going to read and research. They know this. People, listen, there are people that are like social engineers. They study human patterns. They know that you all are not going to research this stuff. They know it. The person that researched all this stuff, for me, talking about this was a tireless effort to find all of this stuff, to find these facts. The average person isn't going to do it. But the irony is, if I come along and say, you don't have to do it, I can share it with you, why wouldn't anybody want to watch it? Why wouldn't anybody want to listen? I'll tell you, because it shatters the fantasy. Who wants to know that the person they look up to, like Stacey Yvonne Abrams, is a crook, is a liar, is a charlatan? Who wants to know that? Like, who wants to know that a person being put in front of us as somebody that's like a savior, to save people, that cares about people, that she's the total opposite? Nobody wants to hear that. So most people reject the truth because it's not convenient. It requires you to exercise your character. Let's continue.
It is an essential conversation. It is about the freedom of women to direct their lives. It is about healthcare freedom. And it is cutting across demographics. It's cutting across ideology. It is cutting across the questions that so often dominate elections at this moment, because for women, this is a healthcare conversation. It is an economic conversation.
Healthcare, healthcare, healthcare. How in the world is abortion healthcare? We can all agree that if a person isn't living, there's no health to care for. And I thought when it came to a woman being pregnant, that healthcare was nutrition and rest and visiting a physician regularly, but somehow all that's been reduced to a procedure. But let's listen to what the experts have to say.
I would think that most doctors involved in this whole process from one way or the other, understand that the baby is a patient.
Yes, sir.
And so the claim that the overwhelming consensus is that abortion is health care, would you agree with that?
No, I don't agree. And as I said earlier, I respectfully disagree with assertions to the contrary, simply because, as I've said, internists don't perform abortion, and most obstetrician gynecologists don't perform abortions. If abortion was essential health care, why is it that greater than 85% of us don't do it?
Yes, exactly. That was the point I was hoping you would bring out.
She said that 85% of physicians don't perform abortions. Think about that. 85% of physicians don't do it. So if it was such an important thing and it was so pivotal in a woman's health, then why wouldn't the majority of doctors do it? Again, Stacey Abrams is lying. This is not deception. Deception is a little bit of truth, a little bit. No, she's just outright lying. But she knows that Black people and liberals won't research. And again, Black culture and liberal culture are the same because they both don't deal with accountability. They both don't deal with truth and facts. They both deal with emotions. They both deal with loving, worshiping idols, symbols, gestures. Think about it. Everything you see in Black culture and liberal culture is a showing. It's a display. It's always something people can see. It's never anything of any substance. So a person's not going to be satisfied with just being non-binary. They got to show you that they're non-binary. They got to make you submit to them being non-binary. Don't call me this, call me this. I get to come into work like this. I get to go in this bathroom. Same with Black culture. We have to show everybody what it is. No substance involved in it. So these people know where folks' minds are. This is a very detailed psychological game they're playing because they know human behavior, and they know if they put enough things around you, enough stimuli, that you all, or we all, will acquiesce to their demands. I mentioned the demoralization. Yeah, thank you, MKOK. Yeah, so it's like 99% of doctors don't perform it, and 85% of gynecologists don't perform it, to be specific. 85% of gynecologists. Most doctors don't perform it at all. So it's a very rare thing to do as a physician. Sorry about that. Thank you, MKOK.
That does not sound like a consensus at all. In fact, it sounds like more misinformation to pretend that the consensus of doctors in this field believe that abortion is health care.
We've seen it happen in Texas, where a woman was investigated for miscarriage. We've seen what happened in Ohio. We've seen what's happened across this country, women being forced into ectopic ruptures because doctors are afraid to treat ectopic pregnancies. Women are in danger.
Dangerous? Danger is her middle name. Well, actually, it's Yvonne. But what she's promoting is dangerous. And we're about to show you. Now, you heard her. I had to laugh at that joke. Oh, no. That was funny to me. I said danger's her middle name. Now it's really Yvonne. Oh, that was funny. Okay, let me go. My bad. Let me go. Mention things like ectopic pregnancy and miscarriage. But let's see what the Human Life Alliance has to say about this. Women who abort are more likely to experience future ectopic pregnancy, infertility, hysterectomy, stillbirth, miscarriage, and premature birth than women who have not had abortions. Women who abort are 144% more likely to physically abuse their children. Women who have undergone previous abortions have a 60% higher risk of miscarriage. So clearly the danger is abortion.
Another deceptive tactic by pro-abortionists is to say abortion restrictions will somehow deprive women of treatments for miscarriages and ectopic pregnancies. How do you respond to that?
Miscarriage treatment is not an abortion. Abortion is a procedure which ends an intrauterine pregnancy, which is living, whereas a miscarriage is a miscarriage has occurred when there has been a demised fetus, and therefore you are not proceeding with the intent to kill or take a human life. For an ectopic pregnancy, which is extrauterine or perhaps in parts of the uterus, fallopian tubes, or in the body of the uterus, these pregnancies, if not attended to, can result in devastating consequences, but performing a procedure or administering medication to terminate an ectopic pregnancy is not an abortion.
Now, let's see what the NIH has to say about abortions. You know the National Institute of Health. You know that place ran by your beloved Dr. Fauci. So I'm about to read something from the National Institute of Health regarding abortion. This is the NIH. This is the whole trust the science. This is we've spent 2.5 years of the NIH being the God of science. Dr. Fauci even said he was science. So let's see what the NIH has to say about abortions. Not what I have to say about it or Ms. Abrams. Let's see what the NIH has to say about abortions. The same place they said to trust the science. Let's go. Risk of damage to the cervix by dilation for first trimester induced abortion by suction aspiration. In a study of 104 patients undergoing first trimester abortion, a fall in resistance was found in 12.5% of women in whom the cervix was dilated to 9 millimeters, and in 66.7% when the dilation reached 11 millimeters. Do you understand what I just read? That means at this measurement, a woman has a 12.5% chance of having a future miscarriage. And at this measurement, it jumps up to 66.7%. And you know what's crazy? You didn't even see my fingers move. Imagine how much damage is occurring in the second trimester when the baby is much larger.
2019, 15,000 plus abortions were done. 46% of them were done by Black women. Now, if the KKK had said we will pay for every Black woman to have an abortion who wants one, we would say to ourselves, wait a minute, something's up. Why don't they want us to have our babies? But you see that we don't understand what's going on, and so we're losing so many Black lives that matter.
Do you think that she has a point in terms of losing so many Black lives that matter? I've heard that sentiment from other people as well.
I think that's a very specious argument that's used to cloak what is, I think, a deeply disturbing approach to this conversation. In fact, during my tenure in the legislature, I beat back a bill that was designed to deny access to this medical decision using race as a divisive tactic. And I reject that. Black women in Georgia face the highest maternal mortality rate. They're 3 times more likely to die. We know that Black women are the most likely to be underserved by their medical care. And we know that sometimes the choice that they need to make medically, economically, and personally is to have an abortion.
Thank you very much. Final question. Pro-abortionists also claim that abortion is necessary for women due to high rates of maternal mortality. Would you agree with that? What's your reaction to that kind of claim?
It's not true based on any science. There are no studies that show that increasing rates of abortion decrease maternal mortality. In fact,
I'm gonna rewind this for a second. So Stacey Abrams is saying that when you don't have an abortion, it increases the maternal mortality rate. So she's basically saying that if you don't have an abortion, you're more likely to die for women. And then she says black women. So I want you all to be clear. There's about 600, let's say 630 abortions a year, sometimes more, but above 600 something thousand abortions a year. 38% of those abortions are by black women. Think about this. Out of 600, almost 650,000 abortions a year, 38% of them are had by black women. Black women make up 7% of the population. So think about this now. 7% of the population accounts for 38% of the abortions. That means black women are having an astronomical amount of abortions. It's astronomical. It's like 1,000 a day. And most folks keep saying, well, choice, but 1,000 a day sounds like genocide to me. If anything died at 1,000 a day, it would be national emergency. If 1,000 squirrels died a day, it'd be a national emergency. If 1,000 pigeons died a day, it'd be a national emergency. If 1,000 trees died a day, national emergency. So why is it a national emergency if it's 1,000 babies just from one community dying a day? That lets you know how all this rhetoric surrounding abortion is really done to devalue life. Let's continue.
We know that black women are the most likely to be underserved by their medical care. And we know that sometimes the choice that they need to make medically, economically, and personally is to have an abortion.
Thank you very much. Final question. Pro-abortionists also claim that abortion is necessary for women due to high rates of maternal mortality.
Pay attention.
Would you agree with that? What's your reaction to that kind of claim?
It's not true based on any science. There are no studies that show that increasing rates of abortion decrease maternal mortality. In fact, until recently, countries where abortion was criminalized and prohibited, and I'm thinking in particular of Chile and Ireland, and I think Cyprus, had the lowest rates of maternal mortality in the world. For several years consecutively, Ireland had zero maternal mortality at a time when abortion was completely illegal.
Thank you very much. I found your written statement to be fascinating, and the research there that you provided was incredible. Thank you very much, and I yield back.
You're welcome, sir.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Maryland.
Now, you just heard the doctor, and she stated that in 3 countries where abortion was illegal, there was 0 mortality rate among women giving birth. That is quite telling. So, just to reiterate that point, they've done studies on countries, the folks that have done studies on countries. 3 countries had 0 maternal mortality rates when there was 0 abortion. So when abortion was illegal, there wasn't any women dying giving birth. When abortion was illegal, there wasn't any women dying giving birth. And that was in 3 countries that decided to research. You know, most folks don't research this stuff because they don't want to discover the truth. What folks don't realize is that there is an evil and wicked agenda. And it's just hard to tell y'all this, but everybody that you probably like out there is a part of the agenda. It's just a sad thing to say, but it's true. We done called Stacey Abrams in 5 lies, and I'm only 16 minutes in. I'm 16 and a half minutes in, and we done called Stacey Abrams in 5 lies, not based on what I'm saying, but based on what the facts are saying, based on people like Dr. Fauci, who runs the NIH, based on what they're saying about abortion. Now, how is it that Fauci is pro-abortion, but did a study on how bad abortion was? That lets you know these folks will know the truth and then just lie in your face. Kind of like with the Peter pandemic, you know. Let's continue. But don't take her word for it, and don't take my word for it. Let's see what the NIH has to say about it. You know, that place ran by Dr. Fauci. Legal induced abortion is a root cause of the racial and ethnic disparity noted in maternal mortality. In the United States, the death rate of legal induced abortion performed at 18 weeks gestation is more than double that observed for women experiencing vaginal delivery. Wait a minute. I need you all to process what I just read. I'll be back in 1 minute. Do you understand tossing and turning?
And
Induced abortion is a root cause of the racial and ethnic disparity noted in maternal mortality. In the United States, the death rate of legal induced abortion performed at 18 weeks gestation is more than double that observed for women experiencing vaginal delivery. Wait a minute. I need you all to process what I just read. I'll be back in 1 minute. So what that just, the NIH said was the difference in maternal mortality rate between white women and black women, because this is the whole calling card for abortion. They're telling you that black women die more than white women giving birth. The NIH did a study, and the study showed that black women die more than white women because they have more abortions. I'm gonna say it again. Black women die more than white women. They have more maternity, a higher maternal maternity rate because they have more abortions. Now, if you notice, they keep saying white women get more abortions than black women. This is what they're telling you. What they're not telling you is that black women get the most abortions. Black women make up 7% of the population and account for almost 40% of the abortions. That is an astronomical number. So that means black women, like I said before, 1,000 a day. And when you bring this up, many people get offended because they feel bad on how crazy it sounds. Because everybody knows if 1,000 chickens died a day, it would be a national alarm. So again, this is not just a political issue. It's not just a moral issue. This is a spiritual issue, because what is the spiritual consequence for leading a nation in abortions? What is the spiritual consequence for leading a nation in abortions? These people are telling you that black women are dying because of racism, and it's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. Black women are dying more giving birth than white women because they have more abortions. And that's what the NIH said. The same NIH that everybody running around here with a mask on their face, getting poked like a junkie. The same people are the ones that said the abortions lead to the maternal mortality rates, not racism. They're going to tell you it's racism. It's not racism. Black women have the most abortions. It's just a fact. I'm not making this up. It's not personal. These are the facts. And people want to hear it. But again, when you start not wanting to hear the truth, you start pushing it away from God. I'm telling you that right now. If you reject the truth, you reject God. Yeah. And most people have never knew this. Like I didn't know this. Most folks don't know that abortions increase maternal mortality rate. Most folks don't know that because they tell them it's a clump of cells, we getting the baby out. They make it about everything except what it's actually doing to the womb. And we can all agree to this. And abortion is something that is not from God. So we know that if it's man-made, if it's a man-made thing, then it has the potential to be very harmful to the person. Because we know the ways of man seemeth right, but in the end are the ways of death. But let's continue. Do you understand what you just read? What you just read comes directly from the NIH, the National Institute of Health. the place ran by our beloved Dr. Fauci, the same person that said, trust the science. And this is what the science says. The science says that the difference between white women and black women when it comes to maternal mortality rate is abortion. Stacey Abrams is saying that if you have more abortions, it will decrease your chances of dying while giving birth. That is a lie. It is literally the opposite of what the science says. And I have a tough time believing that Stacey Abrams doesn't know this. Stacey Abrams is a lawyer. She is well educated. She is well informed. She does research for a living. This is what she does. Her job is to find out the facts and argue them in a courtroom. She knows what's going on. So I find it very hard to believe that what she's doing is not intentional. Again, the difference in maternal mortality rate between black women and white women is abortion. Black women make up 7% of the US population, but they account for 38% of abortions. That means that black women are having a disproportionate amount of abortions. So I'm gonna stop right there because there's people on Instagram saying that all this is a lie. Now, I provided facts, studies, everything, and black people will still say it's not true. I'll say it again, people in the back of the classroom. Black women make up 7% of the population, but they account for 38% of abortions. White women are a much larger percentage and account for a less percentage of abortions. So black women are 38%, white women are 34%, but the difference is black women are only 7%. Again, they're having an astronomical amount of abortions. We're talking about 1,000 a day. Nobody else on the planet is having 1,000 abortions a day. This is very disheartening and troubling because I see black people literally doing the will of Satan. This is beyond politics. This is black people seeing the truth, and to try to save face, they'll say, I'll go with the lie. A lot of research was put into this, and Stacey Abrams is lying. And her lying is going to lead to more women dying. This is a very serious thing. So when I see black people on here defending what she's doing, it's sick and disgusting. But it's also demonic, evil, wicked, and satanic. I'm providing the facts. Everything you see is factual. We have doctors speaking. Everything on here is factual, and black people are still trying to hold on to vote for this woman. It's just disgusting. But like I said earlier, if you already voted for her, just go ahead and repent. Let's continue. And then here comes Stacey Abrams and tells black women to have more abortions. So what Stacey Abrams is promoting is literal genocide. She's telling black women to abort their children and then kill themselves in the process. If Stacey Abrams gets her way, black people will cease to exist. It sounds kind of familiar, right? Remember that person, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood? Doesn't her plans and Stacey Abrams' plans sound eerily similar? What Stacey Abrams is doing is wicked and evil and disgusting. But guess what? If you think all of this is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. So if you heard what I just said, I basically said what Stacey Abrams is asking black women to do is destroy the black community, destroy the whole nation. The facts and the science say that abortions are the #1 cause and difference in maternal mortality rate between white women and black women. It's abortion. So that means that black women die more giving birth because of abortions. So if she promotes more abortions, she's promoting more death. So if the child is dead and the mother is dead, then Black people cease to exist. I'll say it again. If the child is dead and the mother is dead, Black people cease to exist. Now ask yourself, why would Stacey Abrams be pushing genocide on her people? Why would Stacey Abrams, who everybody loves, who's so wonderful, who cares about women and Black people so much, why would she be promoting genocide when she knows that the maternal mortality rate increases with abortion? Why would she do it? Why would she want her people to cease to exist? Why? You will start to see connections between all these communists, these eugenicists, all these people. You will see that all of these people are the same folks that lead these liberal agendas. These people lead all these liberal agendas. They're led by all of those people because they know the liberal agenda doesn't have to be based in facts. It doesn't have to be based in science. Think about what these liberals are saying. Liberals are saying that a man is a woman. They're fighting to say that a man is a woman. What is the end of all this? What is the end of women dying from abortion and aborting a child and then men being women? What do you see? What's the common theme? The common theme is not just genocide for Black people, it's genocide for humanity. Now you got to ask yourself, what do these folks have planned if they don't want human beings to exist? What do these folks have planned if they don't want human beings to exist? Why are they promoting trans stuff so hard? Why are they promoting someone being a man being a woman, knowing the man can't give birth? Ask yourself these questions. What are they doing this for? There's always been trans folks. There's always been gay folks. Why are they pushing so hard now? At the same time, they're pushing hard for the trans is the very same time they're pushing hard for abortion. So I know that the ultimate goal is for women to give up their birthing rights to the trans community. That's the ultimate goal. Let's continue.
During my tenure in the legislature, I helped defeat HB 1155, which was a bill that attempted to use eugenics as a justification for disallowing abortion. I fought against the 20-week ban and helped keep it tied up in court for 6 years. Unfortunately, after I left the legislature, Brian Kemp, upon becoming governor, passed this terrible 6-week ban. But I'm unequivocal. I believe in the right to an abortion.
Wait a minute. Did I hear that right? You got to run that back.
I fought against the 20-week ban and helped keep it tied up in court for 6 years.
Now you heard Stacey Abrams out of her own mouth, and listen. I challenge anybody to debunk what I'm saying. I challenge anybody to debunk what I'm saying. I don't know how you're gonna debunk it because the scientists are talking and she's talking. This ain't even me. But I challenge anyone to debunk the scientists and Stacey Abrams. So Georgia had a 20-week abortion limit. That means a woman could have an abortion up to 5 months. Why would Stacey Abrams fight that? Thank y'all for the badges so much. Thank y'all for the badges. Thank you. Why would Stacey Abrams tie up the 5-week abortion limit, 5-month abortion limit in court? Now, you do know that at 6 months, the child can come out. My cousin was born 3 months premature, born at 6 months. So you know at 6 months, a baby can be born. So to me, a fair limit is 5 months. I mean, what we like abortion at 5-month limit is reasonable. It's reasonable. Also, if it is a health problem, the woman can have an abortion up to 9 months if it poses a risk of health to the child or the woman. So she had what she wanted. But guess what? The 5 months wasn't good enough. Let's listen. Why wasn't the 5 months good enough? You mean to tell me you wanted to go past a 5-month abortion? Okay, well, let's listen. Again, all y'all got to do is just debunk me.
Fought against the 20-week ban and helped keep it tied up in court for 6 years.
So let me get this straight. Stacey Abrams wasn't satisfied with the 5-month abortion limit, even though if the pregnancy was going to compromise the woman's health or the child's health, the woman could still have an abortion up to 9 months. And I might also add that at 5 months, those 20 weeks, the baby can feel pain. That means when they're doing those procedures, the baby is feeling everything. Now imagine your child screaming in the womb as it's being killed by a doctor. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? But Stacey Abrams wasn't satisfied with the 5-month abortion limit. Stacey Abrams isn't satisfied with the 6-week abortion limit after the heartbeat is detected. So Stacey Abrams seems to want full-term abortions. Why do I say this? Because Stacey Abrams has been fighting this for over 10 years. And when she gets these things tied up in court, women still have abortions up to 9 months. So basically what Stacey Abrams is doing is she's doing a stall tactic. She knows when she ties it, like she said, she ties this up in court. Thank you for the super sticker, Antoine Gordon. When she ties it up in court, per her word, she said, she ties it up. When she ties it up, there's no abortion limit. This is her goal. Her goal is no abortion limit. I told you all earlier, back in the day, a woman would sacrifice her child, meaning a woman would have the child and then sacrifice the child to the false gods. That's what they want. They don't want abortions in a clinic. No, they want the women out there with the baby out and then aborting the baby out of the womb. So what I'm telling you all is there's a reason why they want the full baby. But Stacey Abrams, when she ties it up in court, when she ties it up, has it all tied up, that's when women can have an unlimited time to have an abortion up to 9 months. That's her goal. And I know some of you all voted for her. I know you all drank the Kool-Aid, didn't know it was cyanide. But if you voted for her, just repent. Because as you see right now, she's not only lying, but she's trying to kill you. You understand that? Do you understand she doesn't want you to exist anymore? This abortion thing is not about women's rights or health care. This is about a satanic agenda. They don't want you to exist anymore. And I know she talks well. I know she reminds you of Big Mama and your auntie and all them. I know she got all that. I know. She got natural hair. She say she against the racist white man. I know all that. She say all that. But those are the ones that are going to lead you to the slaughter. George Soros said he used to run around with the Germans, the Nazis, and point out where all the Jews were hiding. This is what these people do. This is what these people do. One thing about the liberal agenda is they'll always eat their own. So that means if a person is liberal, you can guarantee eventually they're going to eat you. That's what they do. It's what they do. So at the end of the day, what I'm telling you all is the mortality rate, the maternal mortality rate is high among Black women because they have the most abortions. And at 5 months, the baby can feel pain. So why would you want to have an abortion when you know the child can feel it? I asked the question in the documentary, imagine your child screaming in the womb as it's being ripped apart by the doctor. Do you know? So why would you even want to put your child through that knowing they can feel it? Stacey Abrams doesn't care about that. She wants a full-term abortion. She wants 9 months. All the Democrats do. Obama wanted it. They all want full-term because they want to go back to the days of actual child sacrifice. That means everybody sees it. Everybody gets to witness it. Instagram, I'm gonna come right back. Hold on, you two. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna do a thank you, Goddess Navi. So I'm gonna do a recap. Yeah, send it to me, Odetta Bailey. So I'm gonna do a quick recap before folks come back on Instagram. So we learned, based on the truths and the facts, that the maternal mortality rate is higher among Black women than white women because Black women have more abortions. Again, 7% of the population is Black women, but they make up 38% of abortions. And this is a contextual statement. You have to apply context. 7% of the population accounts for 38% of abortions, just like 2% of the population with Black men account for almost 60% of homicides. These are astronomical things. That means that Black men and Black women at a small percentage are killing at a high rate. So again, this is not about race. It's not about you all being in your feelings. This is about an agenda that's been put in your face, and they've masked it as your liberation and your freedom. They're masking this as a woman's right, as healthcare. And it's literally it's the total opposite. This is the promotion of genocide. This is the promotion of genocide. Amy says full-term abortions are in Alaska, Colorado, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and New York. What do these places have in common? Besides Alaska, what do these places have in common? Alaska, Colorado, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and New York. What do they all have in common? Liberal. So we just named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 states with full-term abortion. We're talking about abortion at 9 months. Now we can all agree that that's murder. Because at 9 months, the baby's hollering and screaming. So we can agree that's, we can agree. But again, that liberal agenda is part of a satanic agenda. Yeah, up to birth. That's right. Up to birth. Full term. Up to birth. And then when they pull the baby out, they're going to use it for science. So let's continue. Seems like that is Stacey Abrams' goal.
But what about the lives and safety? What about the lives and safety of the child?
Brian Kemp has refused to expand Medicaid in the state of Georgia. He has refused to support women at every stage of their lives when they are trying to make the best choices for themselves and their families. And the reality is, if we care about the medical needs of women, especially Black women, then we have to care the entire time.
I understood, but I'm just asking you. I asked you about when you see,
Now you notice the woman asked her, "What about the child?" And she brought up Brian Kemp. This is a clever trick. They get asked questions and then they bring up something to get your emotions riled up. So they'll ask them a question. They'll say, Trump is racist. Now your mind's all in a frenzy. They ask her a question, Kemp is racist. Now your mind's all in a frenzy. You have to pay attention when folks don't answer questions. There was a debate between Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker. There was about at least 6 times in the debate where Warnock did not answer any question. He didn't answer the question. Why are these folks not answering questions? Because they know they can. Now, if a Republican gets on stage and says something, y'all gonna make them answer the question. This is why I say we can say whatever we want to say about two wings of the same bird. But I know one thing is for certain. One thing is for certain. There is no standard for a Democrat but to be a Democrat. There is no standard for a Democrat but to be a Democrat. Republicans got to be righteous. They can't steal. They can't do. Republicans got to be on the straight and narrow. So we can say two wings of the same bird, but that ain't how it plays out. We can all agree that Republicans got to walk the straight and narrow path. As soon as a Republican does one thing, they done. So I don't buy the whole two wings of the same bird thing, because as soon as a Republican starts talking different, they immediately get called out. They immediately get called a rhino. Who gets called out in the Democratic Party? Name me one Democrat that got called out for being conservative. None. Tulsi Gabbard, Miss Androgynous, she had to leave the party. She wasn't getting called out. Tulsi Gabbard's probably one of the more conservative liberals, and she wasn't getting called out. As soon as you see a liberal Republican, everybody call him a rhino. So we can all agree that how this thing plays out on a local level between the people, it ain't the same. Because there ain't no standard to be a Democrat. All Stacey Abrams got to have is a box check for black, some natural hair, and high cholesterol and diabetes. All she got to have. She ain't got to have nothing else. And I guarantee her mate, her spouse, whatever she got, I guarantee that person is not from her race. Thank you, Amy, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I bet you it's not from her race. How much you want to bet Stacey Abrams' girlfriend is not of her race, or spouse, partner, them, they, whatever she got is not of her race? How much you want to bet? Let's continue.
Asked you if you believe in it all the way up to 9 months. So I'm just asking you, you're talking about caring about the lives of women. I'm just asking, at what point do you start to care about the life of that baby girl in some cases?
What I would say is that it is a medical decision. I don't know of a single woman who reaches the stage where this decision is easy. That is not the case.
Stop right there. Is she answering the question, yes or no? She's not answering the question. She asked her the simple question twice. When do you start caring about the child? This is her second time not answering the question. This is what liberals do. They make the emotional argument. Thank you so much, Bettina John, for the sticker. Thank you so much. You said reading rainbow. I don't know. I can go twice as high. Let's continue.
And so this is a medical conversation. And while we are absolutely compelled to have these difficult conversations, they should not be political ones. I should not be making decisions without having true understanding of the facts, and nor should any other political leader. This is not a political issue.
So I'm going
to
take that as up to 9 months in some cases, depending on the woman. Correct?
That is not what I said.
So you don't answer the question, and then when I answer it for you, now you're saying you didn't say that, because the woman knows she wants full-term abortions. Like the woman knows this. That's why she tied up the 5-month abortion limit in Georgia. She's the one that tied it up. She's the one that wanted to go past 5 months. So did she want 6 months? Did she want 7 months? Did she want 8 months? Did she want 9 months? This is Stacey Abrams. So Stacey Abrams wants full-term abortions, even though she knows that the longer gestation period for the child in the womb, the more damage that's done to the womb. The longer a woman waits to have an abortion, the more damage that's done to her cervix. Again, 9 millimeters to 11 millimeters is a difference between a 12% chance of a miscarriage, actually 12.6 chance of a miscarriage, to 66.7% just with 2 millimeters. What do you think 3 millimeters is, or 4 millimeters? Now we go from 66% to 80% to 90%. This stuff is destroying women's reproductive organs, and they're not telling the women. They're making it this big virtue signal, and they're not talking about the science behind it. And I'm passionate about this because I know where this leads. This leads to death. These women's bodies are being destroyed. Imagine a woman that had all these abortions listening to Stacey Abrams, and then when she wants to have a child, she can't. It's wrong. Of course, she's pushing the jab. If you go read Stacey Abrams' plans right now on her website, she is for the whole New World Order global agenda. She is for the trans in the school. She is for the mandated jabs. She is for the shutdowns and lockdowns. She is for climate change. She is for the immigrants coming over in the boatloads. She is for all of it. Stacey Abrams is for all of it. All of it. So I'm just telling you all right now, if she becomes governor of Georgia, Georgia will be just like California and just like New York, except it will be worse. You know why? Because it's in the South. It's going to be worse because most of the folks outside of Metro Atlanta don't agree with her. So you're going to have a huge culture clash with this foolishness. The irony of Governor Kemp leaving Georgia open so all y'all could come. I'm talking to black folks right now. All y'all black folks came from around the country to a party in Georgia. Y'all didn't have no problems. Then when you got around your friends, you said the governor of Georgia was racist, but he kept the economy flowing and he kept Georgia open for you all to party. I don't care what nobody tells me. If you vote Democratic, you don't have any character. I don't care if you vote at all. I don't care about you voting. But if you vote Democratic, you don't have any character because voting Democratic literally goes against everything that's moral. Governor Kemp had Georgia open and all these black folks came from around the country the whole time having the time of their life. Some folks even moved down here because where they were was on lockdown. They moved down here and they're going to repay Governor Kemp. They're going to repay him by not voting for him. It's disgusting. There is no standard for a Democratic candidate. There's no standard. All they have to be is a Democrat. If you're a Republican, you got to be intelligent. You got to be a good person. You got to do community service. If you're a Republican, you held to the highest standard. If you're a Democrat, there's no standard. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is look at all the campaigns that are pitched by Democrats to black people and tell me what campaign respects your intelligence. What campaign respects your character? What campaign respects your morality? Tell me one. Let's continue.
I said this is a medical decision, and the medical decision
about the lives of women. I'm just asking, at what point do you start to care about the life of that baby girl in some cases?
What I would say is that it is a medical decision. I don't know of a single woman who reaches the stage where this decision is easy. That is not the case. And so this is a medical conversation. And while we are absolutely compelled to have these difficult conversations, they should not be political ones. I should not be making decisions without having true understanding of the facts, and nor should any other political leader. This is not a political issue.
So I'm going
to
take that as up to 9 months in some cases, depending on the woman. Correct?
That is not what I said. I said this is a medical decision, and the medical decisions that have to be made in context. This is a specious approach to try to denude the entire argument. And the reality is abortion and reproductive care is personal and it is singular, and it should be made between a woman and her doctor.
Thank you, T, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You see what she's doing is I call this a straw man argument. Of course, an abortion is between a woman and a physician. That's goes without saying. But what is she really saying? She's saying that there should be no limit on when the woman has an abortion. Listen, I'll be honest with y'all right now. In today's climate, I don't trust a woman not having an abortion at 9 months. I don't. It's too much stuff going on. People are too impressionable. The character is low. The morale is low. The spiritual discernment is gone. Satan is ruling. The spirits out. I don't trust a woman to not have an abortion at 9 months because I know these women will take advantage of it. This is the era that we in. Stacey Abrams is literally promoting abortion. literally promoting genocide. Literally, she's promoting it. Let's continue. And I'm gonna stop it pretty soon.
I do not have either the experience or the capacity to know what is happening with others.
Okay. I also want to thank the.
So, okay, I'll play this last part. Let's go.
Leadership of Chairwoman Sharon Cooper, a member of the Cobb County delegation who also has taken bold steps to address maternal mortality in our state. Through HB 1114, that shows you how much we were dealing with down there, over 1,000 bills in the House. It's impressive that you get one through, Sharon. HB 1114 maybe be a. But with that piece of legislation, we're going to enhance access to quality and timely care for mothers on Medicaid. Coupled with other investments, including the Morehouse School of Medicine, HB 1114 will dramatically improve health outcomes for Georgia mothers. That's something that we can all agree on. This generational impact of this legislation cannot be overstated. These two bills are joined by several other pieces of legislation that I'll be signing today, all of which accomplish what we had promised to do. That is to streamline bureaucracy, increase access to quality care, insist on transparency and fairness, improve health outcomes, and put Georgia families first. I'm grateful for the hard work of the legislators here today, along with our partners again in the medical field, the private sector, and our local communities.
And there it is. Governor Kemp, barely in office, decides to address the maternal mortality rate in Georgia. He decides to extend Medicaid from 60 days to 6 months for women's postpartum period. That is, after she gives birth. Now ask yourselves a question. Why would Stacey Abrams lie on Governor Kemp? You mean to tell me Stacey Abrams would lie about abortion and then turn around and lie on a person trying to fix the mess that she made? This is crazy. You know, I got to thinking, for Stacey Abrams to be going this hard for abortion, it almost seems like she's working for Planned Parenthood. And then I saw this.
Planned Parenthood.
So I'm gonna stop it right here, and I want to save the rest for tomorrow because I got about a few more minutes. But I just want to say that you heard that she said Governor Kemp did nothing. Governor Kemp didn't care, all this stuff, because we see when he was barely into office, he addressed it. And he extended the Medicaid for women from 6 weeks to 6 months after the baby's born. So it got extended from 6 weeks after birth to 6 months after birth. So again, we see that Governor Kemp, the Republican, the white man, still did something about the increased maternal mortality rate that Stacey Abrams helped create. So now we see the white man standing up for Black women. How ironic is that? How ironic is it for Governor Kemp to actually care about these babies? And Black folks' argument is, oh, well, they're trying to preserve their lives. So what? What Black folks don't realize is that other races of people aren't that emotional. They know that all of these trends eventually affect them. So they know the trends over here eventually come to, people know this stuff. I don't know why y'all don't know this. People know that if they're doing it on this, on outside, on that side of the street, it's gonna come to your house next. People know this. People know when that one family moves in, then that second family moves in, and next thing you know, the whole community is destroyed. People know these things. So guess what? People try to stop these trends when they begin. They're telling you this stuff is racist. But Governor Kemp, barely in office, he addressed it. Did he get on the podium and brag about it? No. You didn't know about it. I didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it. The trend you'll see is the Republicans don't brag about all the stuff they did. The Republicans don't brag about all the stuff they did. The only reason you heard Trump saying what he did was because the media was saying he didn't do it. So what I'm telling you all is they got y'all thinking that white people are bad and black people are good. But we know through common sense and living, that's not true. People are bad or good based on their character. Nothing to do with their race. But someone asked earlier, how is abortion? It'll be tomorrow at 9 o'clock too, Cole. Tomorrow at 9. So thank y'all for the badges on Instagram. Thank y'all for the badges. Somebody asked, what does abortions have to do with economics? I'll tell you. Nothing to do with the recession. Honestly, nothing. But there is a profit from abortion. There is money made from abortion. So it's a lucrative field. So we know that anything that makes money gets incentivized. So yeah, y'all have any questions? Because I kind of want to recap what I said. I agree, Amy. If Republicans are racist, why wouldn't they be pushing abortion knowing that black women have the most abortions? Why wouldn't they push it? Like, to me, think about what Margaret Sanger wanted. Margaret Sanger wanted genocide, eugenics. She wanted, limited amount of births for people that weren't, quote unquote, I guess, pure. So my question is, if Margaret Sanger went and spoke to the Ku Klux Klan, for crying out loud. So if Margaret Sanger's intentions were to have people of color abort their babies, then why would people of color, women of color, do it? Think about what we're saying. We're saying, and lady tried to talk about it earlier, but she was saying, if the KKK said y'all should get abortions, you would say it's racist. But if Margaret Sanger tells you to get an abortion, you're going to say she cared. That should let you know it's not about race. It's about imagery. It's about conditioning and programming. Stacey Abrams looks like you, a lot larger, but she looks like you. And she's telling you to have an abortion and risk your life. Margaret Sanger is saying, have an abortion and risk your life. The Ku Klux Klan would say, have an abortion and risk your life. But you only think one of those three is bad. That should let you know that you are programmed and conditioned. TD Jakes endorses her. All your black pastors, all your black leaders endorse her. So now, based on what I've told you, you all should know that they are working with Satan. They are working with Satan. I'm not making this up. I just read to you what the NIH said. I just read to you what Dr. Fauci signed off on. The difference in maternal mortality rate between black women and white women is abortion. So that means black women die more giving birth because they have more abortions. This is what Stacey Abrams knows. So that means TD Jakes knows this. Creflo Dollar knows this. All your woke black pastors know this. And if they don't know it, I was told that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So it's your job to not blindly endorse Stacey Abrams. You being ignorant is no excuse because you're still supporting abortion. And as we know, Stacey Abrams had it tied up when it was a limit of 5 months. She wasn't satisfied with the 5-month abortions, and at 5 months, the baby can feel the pain. She wasn't satisfied with that. She wanted a full-term abortion. This is your beloved queen, the Lyin Queen, Stacey Yvonne Abrams. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? What's up, Rupert? My boy Rupert, what's up? Does anybody have any? This is a part of a wicked, satanic agenda. It's evil. She is promoting genocide because the end goal is transhumanism and transgenders. That's their end goal. Their end goal is a limited amount of humans on the planet. I think the guy, Georgia Guidestone said 500 million. Or was it 500,000? Might have been 500,000. I don't know. 500 something million. I don't know, but it's a low number. But my point is, their goal is not humanity. Their goal is transhuman, transgender, and then get in where you fit in. So she don't care about women giving birth. She don't care about a woman's reproductive organs. She don't care about this stuff. She don't care about it. She going along with the agenda. She working for Margaret Sanger. And guess what? If your pastor endorses Stacey Abrams, he's also working for Margaret Sanger. He's also working for Satan. He's also working for the Great Reset, the New World Order, the liberal world agenda. He's working for all that. Your pastor, I don't care if it's your favorite pastor, if he's supporting her, he's working for. Guess what? If I showed T.D. Jakes this presentation, he wouldn't change his mind. If I showed Creflo Dollar this presentation, he wouldn't change his mind. So that lets you know these pastors know, because when I tell them the truth, they don't change. I got a new chair coming to y'all. This is gonna be squeaking. Sound like my old Chevy. If I show these folks the truth, they still won't change their stance. So clearly it's not about the truth. So your pastor, your favorite pastor, because all of them probably endorsing her, not just Creflo Dollar, T.D. Jakes, all of them endorsing her, all these woke black men on TV endorsing her, all these folks endorsing her, they're endorsing the genocide of black people, plain and simple. And we just proved it. Because the NIH said, Dr. Fauci said, that the difference in mortality rate between white women, mortality rate, difference between, 500 million, thanks T. The difference between the maternal mortality rate between black women and white women is abortion. 7% of black women, 7% of the population, which is black women, account for 38% of abortions. 7% of the population accounts for 38% of the abortions. That number is astronomical. It's astronomical. In New York City, the lady said, and Kanye said it, there are more black babies being aborted than there are being born. There are more black babies in New York being aborted. I don't even want to say black. I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to get this thing context. There are more black babies being aborted in New York than there are black babies being born. That's already a downward slope. So imagine New York, and there are more abortions than births, and the mayor and the governor and all the woke leaders are still pushing abortion. So what are they pushing? If everybody knows that there are more black babies in New York being aborted than born, that means when they push the agenda, what are they pushing? They're literally pushing genocide. They're literally saying, we don't want black babies to be born. That's why Cynthia G can get on YouTube and say, abort black male babies, and get put on all these platforms, because that's the agenda. That's the agenda. It's genocide. We can talk about politics and all that stuff. We can talk about morality, character, politics, religion, whatever. At the end of the day, if there are more babies being aborted than born, that's genocide, period. So anybody pushing this abortion agenda is pushing a genocide specifically on black people, people of color, indigenous people, the Moors, the Israelites, tribe of Judah, whatever you want to call them. That's what they're pushing it on. So if your pastor supports Stacey Abrams, he supports genocide, period. And furthermore, how can a pastor support abortion? Especially when they use the fetus or they use the baby for the snake bites, for the jabs. They use the babies for the jabs to make the jabs. And they also sell the baby's organs. and they also use the cells. So I'm like, the babies aren't just being aborted, they're being used for a wicked agenda too. So you actually aborting the baby to give it to Satan. And a pastor's okay with that? I can't ride with that. I don't trust no pastor supporting abortion. I'm sorry. I don't support any pastor pushing abortion. And I know there's probably women on here that had an abortion. I'm not judging you. I'm simply saying that there's an agenda behind abortion. There's an agenda of genocide behind abortion. The whole purpose of all this stuff for women is for women to give up their birth. Think about what they're telling you. They're telling you if you have a baby, you're going to die. 20 years from now, that will make women not want to have children. Don't you understand? The goal is not humanity. It's transhuman, transgender. They want the transgenders to be the parents. They want the transhumans to be the parents, not the natural way, not the man, not the woman. That ain't what they want. It's not what they want. I know this stuff sounds bad and horrible. I know it sounds terrible. I know we love Stacey, psych. I know they put her out there. She's the queen, and she's such a good person. She's been fighting, but she never really told what she was fighting for. She really been fighting for the 9-month full-term abortion. That's what she's been fighting for. She working for Margaret Sanger. She working for the eugenics. She working for Klaus Schwab. She working for Bill Gates. She working for them. She's not working for you. She don't care about you. That's right, artificial birth. And I know y'all can't see this, but I am trying to preserve humanity. All of this stuff leads to no more people. If we go back to the beginning of the Bible, thank you, Rupert, for the thanks for the super sticker, Rupert. I appreciate it, man. I gotta start putting y'all up on this thing. I'm sorry. Thanks, Rupert. This is my boy Roop, man. Back home, man. Rupert used to be cold in basketball, y'all. He went to Sac High, you know. We was in the Metro League back in the day. Anyway, thanks, Rupert. Thanks, Bree. Hit the like button, y'all. But yeah, the goal of all this, the goal is for genocide. And the reason is, we go back to the Bible, in Genesis, God tells Eve, your seed is going to be at odds with the enemy, with Satan. Your seed, the heel of your seed is going to be bruised on the head of the serpent. So in other words, Satan's greatest threat is not a preacher preaching. It's not somebody evangelizing. It's not somebody saving their soul, none of that. The greatest threat to Satan is the child being born. The greatest threat to Satan is the child being born, because that is what God said would be his number one enemy. That's why they want the children. That's why they go into the school with the trans. That's why they want abortion. That's why they doing all this stuff, because Satan knows if I can get them to stop having children, I won't have any enemies. It's a great war strategy. It is a great war strategy. If I can get them to stop having children, I won't have any enemies. So what I'm telling you all is that Stacey Abrams is working for the enemy. And if any pastor endorses her, any liberal person endorses her, this is what it is. And guess what? I don't care about y'all voting. I'm just telling you all what you're voting for. And when it comes to her, you voting for death, destruction, and damnation. Thank you, Louisiana Sister Squad Podcast. Oh, y'all follow Rupert too. Follow his YouTube channel, please. Follow Bree Cruz on here. Emerald. Follow everybody should be following everybody. Louisiana Sister Squad Podcast. Amy. Everybody should be following everybody. But I'm gonna close on this, y'all. I'm gonna end on this, because we got to finish it tomorrow. But listen, you all. Anything these folks tell you on TV and it sounds good, it's a lie. Because the truth is never going to sound good. The truth will always have a bad taste to it. The Bible says that the truth will set you free. So think about freedom. What does it take for a person to get free if they're in bondage? It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. It's scary. So if the truth sets you free, then that's what the truth is. It's not fun. It's scary. It's hard. It's difficult. It requires characters and principles, faith, honor, courage. So if somebody's on TV talking to you and what they're saying sounds good and makes you feel at ease, they're lying to you. They are lying to you. Listen, I love you all, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Goodbye, YouTube. I love y'all. See y'all tomorrow. And goodbye, my YouTube family. Good night, y'all get some rest. I'll be back at this tomorrow. That's right. They got exposed when they shut the church down. That's right. The churches got exposed when they shut that church down for this Peter pandemic. Throughout the church's whole history, it was all about faith until the final moment, it wasn't. If you think about it, that's where they combined church and state. Church and state got combined again during this Peter pandemic. The church and the state got combined again during this Peter pandemic, except this time, the church ain't over the state. This time, the state is completely over the church. Listen, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all. Love y'all.